Hey y'all. So, I intend this to be a one take because I'm considering this to be my first podcast. Who would have thought I would make a podcast? But also, I want to make it comfy as can be. As you can see, I am lounging on my bed. And I'm also recording this on Snapchat because I wanted this to be such cozy vibes, like kind of carefree vibes, that I wasn't going to record on my camera. I was going to record on my tablet. But for some reason, when I do the front facing camera on this tablet, it's all fuzzy. So I've resorted to Snapchat, which is why you see like this type of filter, because this is the only one that doesn't completely alter my face. But yeah, we're here, we're vibing. I got some tunes going on. I don't think you can hear them. But yeah, never mind. My whole one take plan just backfired because Snapchat does have a limit to recording. Fantastic. But anyways, the big thing here is that I don't like podcasts. But I've been thinking about making a podcast since 2018 because James Michael told me to. Here's the issue though. I have no proof because I can't find his freaking podcast. He used to have a podcast called Jamecast. I'll show you, look. I found it on Spotify. I don't know how to work Spotify though, because I'm that much of a boomer. But I can't find his podcast anywhere. And it's episode 16, where he asked for us to send in things on Twitter. I can't remember what I sent in, but something about my career, my life plan. And I talked about how I one day want to be a radio host. Like I want to have my own rock radio station called Rock Candy. I've thought about this since I was like 11, okay? But yeah, I talked about how I want to, like, that's my biggest goal. Well, now it's changed because now I really want to be a librarian, and I already have like almost my teaching certificate. So all I need is a master's and I can be a librarian. But my point being, I want to have my own radio station, and I want to have an animal sanctuary. That's pretty obvious because I love animals. I rescue animals. We have kittens right now. But he said to just go for it. He said basically on his podcast for me to start a podcast, even if I have no friends. I have the Cheshire Cat though, but even if I don't have, maybe every now and then I could get someone to do this podcast with me. But my point being, I didn't start it because I don't like podcasts. Because my whole deal with, if I have my own radio station called Rock Candy, because that's my alias on various places, in case you were just don't worry about it. Whenever I don't use seidimeow, I use Rock Candy, but don't worry about it. So anyway, since like the Zanga days, that was my Zanga name. But I don't like podcasts because I cannot multitask for the life of me. I really cannot. Like, I don't understand people who like put on a podcast and drive. I can't. I'm not listening to a podcast at all, okay? I can't clean the house listening to a podcast or watching a show. I just can't. So that's why I don't really like podcasts. I've never been hooked on a podcast because I need a video, for one, associated to it, because I'm a visual learner, if you will. But also, like, the only podcast I've listened to recently is Digging Deep by Robert Plant. This guy right here. Robert Plant. So I've listened to his podcast here and there because I'm still going through my zeppelin phase. I've been in my zeppelin phase for about 3 months now. I thought it would be over by now, but it continues. Anyways, that's beside the point. When the levee breaks just came on. Anyways, so I've listened to his podcast, Digging Deep, but like random episodes on songs that I like. So I haven't even watched that in its entirety because if I'm listening to it, I need to be doing something else, but I can't. I don't know. It's beyond me why I'm so distracted. I can't focus on podcasts. That's why I don't really like them. Either way, I'm like, why don't they just make a video? And that's it. Like all these YouTubers that make podcasts. But yet, here we are. I'm such a hypocrite. I'm an oxymoron. Emphasis on the moron. I guess this is my first podcast. It's me talking about how I want to start a podcast, but I don't like podcasts. But I do want the podcast to be like this, very loungy. I will upload the audio to somewhere else, which I still haven't figured out. You know, I'm very much like, we'll cross the bridge once we get to it. But I think I want to put them on SoundCloud, my podcast, if anyone's interested. But I think I want this just to tell stories because I have so many random things that have happened to me in my life that maybe someone finds interesting. I don't know. Probably not. But I want to share some stories because they're so bizarre sometimes. I just, think I should share them. But also, what I would love to do, like I'll do it at the end of this, tell you what song is currently stuck in my head, because I will get songs stuck in my head for about 3 days straight. And this has happened to me since I was a child. So at the end of this, I'll tell you the song that is stuck in my head right now. It's 2 of them. But yeah, the main purpose of this is that this is my first podcast. Also, why I don't like podcasts, but I'm still starting a podcast, and I gotta figure out what to name it. Which honestly is gonna be the most difficult part here is gonna be naming this podcast, because we've discussed the part where I am very distracted, but I am also indecisive, severely indecisive. I am a Libra, just saying, but that's no excuse for how freaking indecisive I am. It once took me 3 years to name a pet, okay? And I'm like this with many things. I sometimes wonder, how will I name my children one day? Because I cannot decide for the life of me. Like, even putting on socks is difficult for me. Today's socks, they say meow on them, and they're blue. Maybe I'll show you my socks too, since people ask me about my socks all the time. But anyways, here are my options for the name. I will let y'all vote on what do I name this podcast. And if no one replies, I just won't name it. It would go unnamed. Unless I'm just like super quirky and I name it, I don't like podcast. But here are my options, y'all. The Real Slim Sadie. Because my name is Sadie, by the way. Hi, how's it going? Howdy. My name is seidimeow. So, The Real Slim Sadie. Or Story Time with seidimeow. Or seidimeow Story Time. See how creative I am? It's insane. It's really... So yeah, those are my top picks right now. I don't know. I kind of like The Real Slim Sadie, but I don't even listen to rap music, so that would be, again, an oxymoron. But so those are my 3 options for now. If I think of anything else, I'll probably leave it in the comments. I don't know, but those are my for now. I think it's something story time, because I plan on telling a lot of stories on here. Also, you know what I should tell? But then they say you shouldn't share your dreams with anyone. But I have the most bizarre dreams. Well, for one, I can lucid dream, so I can control my dreams. And then I have night tremors. Is that what they call it? I have severe nightmares as well. I should really seek help. But instead, I thought, what if I share them? But yeah, this is coming off a little bit like the Joker stand-up comedy show. Anyways, so yeah, help me decide. And for now, I'll leave you with my current songs that are stuck in my head. To begin with, we have Layla by Derek and the Dominos. That song, oh my god, the intro, the beginning guitar riff has been stuck in my head. And then we're gonna go with The Rover by Led Zeppelin. Okay? But as I made it obvious in my last few videos, I am still going through my Zeppelin phase. So I've been listening to all their albums, but I accidentally fell out of order a couple of times. And so now I'm just confused. But I am dazed and confused. But right now, The Rover is stuck in my head. I really like the part where he says that the flat earth... And then Achilles' Last Stand. That one too. And look, if I stutter a lot. And I go like, a lot. I'm just going to leave it in. These podcasts, they're staying in. But anyways. Also, Going to California, live in Earl's Court. And Bron Roar Stomp, live Earl's Court 1975. And as always, rock on. We've concluded my first podcast. Oh my god. Yeah. Hope you liked it.
Yeah. 'Cause you're smiling at me. That's the way it